And welcome back to another episode of Cats Cup Podcast. You're here with your hosts, Christian, Justin, and I guess we could probably say Jake's a host. I mean, he's on here 95% of the time now. So we'll rock with it.
95% since January 1st.
I would say December 1st.
Hey, that works.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on here quite a bit. I mean,
Well, Jake, we're glad to have you, man.
Appreciate it, bud.
no doubt,
Really do.
no doubt. So, how's everybody's day been?
Cold, windy, icy, but overall blessed. What about you?
Same.
Yeah, same. Up here in, I guess, this central Kentucky, it's a lot of snow and ice out. So if you're out there, be careful. Be safe on the roads. I know it's a little bad out there. I don't know how Eastern Kentucky's doing, but hopefully you guys got it held down. And if you end up needing a new vehicle after all this, go check out Justin at Cumberland Auto Rentals. They're here to help you. So, yeah, you can go check him out. If you need a rental vehicle or if you need car repairs, you go check him out.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for shout out.
Yeah. Anytime, Justin. Anytime. But this past Saturday, the Cats got a big win over Florida. Another top 10 win. I think we were ranked 10th. They were 6th. 106 to 100. So, Justin, you were there. How was it?
The atmosphere was incredible. I've been to several games there at Rupp. That was definitely the most hyped the crowd's been and the best atmosphere that I've been at personally. So it was just really electric. When we went on that 16-0 run, man, that was just insane. But definitely the best Rupp experience that I've had personally there. So it was a great game for us. It was such a big win for us. So, but yeah, really enjoyed it. I did try one of the infamous ice cream cones that they keep talking about, and it was pretty good, man. I got to give it 2 thumbs up.
Two thumbs up.
Yep.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Yep. So just in case.
How long did you wait in line?
I didn't wait long, man, because they had them like ice cream stands everywhere. It only took like 5 minutes. So
Wow.
So, Mark.
But it was good. It was definitely worth it. Recommend it highly.
Okay. Usually it's like a 10-hour wait to get some of them ice creams.
Buddy, you just got to time it right. Got to be one of the first ones up there during the media timeout. That's what you got to do.
I thought you were about to say one of the first ones in the arena.
No.
Justin
you were
in
definitely,
there before the gates were.
We were definitely not one of the first ones in the arena. You know us. So definitely not one of the first ones.
Yeah. Justin, I know. Well, yeah, you probably weren't. I know you're. Yeah, never mind. I'll be nice. We're on air. But Jake, we watched the game together. Me, you, Cody, and Blake. We all watched the game together. Did a little live. So, what's one thing that stood out in this game?
We picked the perfect time to start hitting shots when it mattered the most. I feel like in the month of December we kind of went on a cold streak there, and I think we got that boost of confidence from the 3-point line, especially, and several other shots that needed to be made. Obviously, the 106 was a big deal. So that was offense was definitely what stood out to me.
Offense, yeah. Justin, what was one thing that stood out to you?
Man, there's a lot that stood out to me in that game. So much to talk about. One.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I'll go one. The big negative, of course, and of course everybody's seen it, was just the rebounding in the second half. But our guards not crashing the defensive glass was terrible. It did lead to some just petty fouls underneath. But then also at the same time, I've never been to any game that I can think of, witness, or watch any game where the opposing team shoots 35 free throws. I mean, I think that's just insane. If you do what's like, if you do what's average, in in a game from an away team, I mean, we easily win by 15 points, easily. Even being out rebounded in the second half like we were, we still win by 15. I mean, I'm not blaming it all on the refs because, again, we made some petty fouls. My number one pet peeve, I would say, in basketball is if you just try to contest somebody and give up an and one at the basket. I can't stand that. If you're going to foul somebody, make sure they don't make the shot. Let them earn both free throws from the line. But anyway,
So what I'm hearing is if you go up, you better be like harassing them, like just throwing them to the floor, getting it technical.
not that. They just shouldn't. They should make. They just
when
shouldn't
you
make.
go up, you're punching them in the face. That's what I heard.
They should make the shot. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Just make sure they don't make the shot. I'm not saying like no blood, no foul type thing. But anyway,
it's a great point. It's a great point.
So, but it was just the rebounding and the free throws on that side, kind of got to me. But outside of that, I mean, goodness, offensively, you can ask for a better game out of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. That was the best that we have done offensive execution against that type of team. Defensive pressure and things. So to see us be able to get decent shots off and make shots was so huge. Kobe Bryant was, of course, just lights out. And Amari, even underneath, I mean, he was attacking and doing well. So, I think we had 6 in double figures. So all around a great game.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant couldn't miss a shot there for a minute.
I know.
He was lights out.
If he gets in his form and his form is not altered where he's tall and he has such a high arching shot, it is so hard to contest him. So if he gets it going, he is just almost impossible to stop and stuff. He was killing me on the defensive glass though, because there's 3 or 4 defensive rebounds he could have got. And I know you, Christian, you bragged on his rebounding. Like,
hey, he's been pretty good up till that game.
But for some reason, that game, I don't know what it was. It was just like everybody that rebounded, it was like 2 feet from him, and someone else from Florida was getting it. But overall, I mean, that's such a huge win. Great game. I'm glad it was at Rupp. If that was in Florida, we would not have pulled that out. I don't think there's any way we win that game at Florida there. Now, later on might be different, but that particular game, it being at Rupp was extremely important. So I'll give it that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to get Kirk Kriisa back. I think we're midway through that injury.
Yeah,
because I know he's in a boot now. He's off the little scooter, so he's in a boot now. And I mean, once we get him back, I think we'll be able to get it back to where we were, I guess, earlier in the season.
Sure.
But like you said, Justin, it's one of the best one of the best offensive games we've had in a minute, especially against a ranked opponent. And I think getting Kirk Kriisa back, bringing the attitude and he's pretty solid offensively, and he can get in people's head defensively. So I think getting him back over Travis Perry, allowing Travis Perry to get some more time to learn and grow into that role, more or less.
Well, Perry's not done bad though, backing up Butler though. I mean, he's not turned the ball over a lot. I think what hurts Perry more than anything is his size defensively. I think that is just that's the number one thing. But overall, I mean, I know he made a 3 there in that game too, but I mean, he's not turning the ball over. He is keeping control of the ball and giving a Butler a much needed break when he needs it. We've got a lot of talented players, but Butler is probably the most important piece we have on this entire team as far as just that defensive tenacity and then guarding the flow of the game. So. But yeah, I can't wait to have Kirk Kriisa back. I just hope when he does come back, he can adjust back into the flow easily, because sometimes you being out that long, it can be a huge adjustment getting back in the flow, especially in time for March Madness. So I think that'll be a big question mark there.
Yeah, and I mean, SEC play, I mean, first game into it, we looked solid. I was kind of skeptical. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of skeptical going into that game because, I mean, Florida, I mean, they've kind of looked dominant. I don't really know much. Like, they've not played the same competition we have necessarily. Right. But I guess not a lot of people have. I mean, you're just now getting into conference play. You're still trying to figure out your opponents necessarily.
Yeah.
Let's see. Coach Ryan, swag points will be Useful in March. Kurt is swag. Oh,
That's a good point.
and look who it is.
Yes.
Mean Bean Cody Green.
About
bad,
time.
My bad, fellas. My bad.
He took a nap.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. You're right.
Was you really?
I was. Long story.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
Ear holes is here. Nobody. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But we're talking about the Florida game, the Florida Kentucky game.
Yeah, no, I was
from Saturday.
listening.
Oh,
I
you're
was
just listening.
I was
Okay.
I still am listening. I'm going to turn that off.
Gotcha. So, Cody, let's hear your take on it.
Did good job offensively. Rebounding, we looked awful. I think
Specifically offensive rebounds.
Offensive rebound, yes.
Mhm.
100% right. Kobe Bryant shot the ball really well. Everybody shot the ball very well. I thought that Jackson played a good game. He didn't shoot a lot.
Mhm.
Who else was I thinking that shot really well? Andrew Carr played a decent game. Which Andrew Carter always plays a good game most of the time when we play big teams. And the whole team overall just played. Travis Perry came in, played a really good job, had that 1-3. Was happy to see that. And defensively, you looked slow there at the beginning, like you were just letting Florida shoot layups basically the entire time. And then you caught up and actually started playing defense. And then we talked about this at halftime. They came out in the second half and was shooting the ball really well, which we figured they would do. But, defensively caught back up to that. And then overall, very good game by Kentucky. Very, very, very proud of what they did.
Heck yeah. I agree. So, Jake, give me one hot take from that game.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm the worst at these. Like, you guys are the pros when it comes to hot takes. Not something I am very good at. Put me on the spot.
Okay, here, I got you.
Okay, go ahead.
Amari Williams found his swag. Down low.
I don't know that that's a hot take. That's kind of accurate.
Say
He
what you
finally
said again.
found his swag.
Who, Kobe? Bryant?
Amari.
Or Amari Williams?
Amari.
I think that's the best game of the season so far for him.
Yes.
For
One
sure.
of, yeah.
With what he's going against. The physicality underneath, he matched it for sure.
That's true.
I would say it's his best game.
I'm not gonna explain why I laughed. I'll tell you guys after.
Okay.
I was gonna say he had a good game against like nobody, didn't he? He had like 20 points or something like that one game.
But we're talking about against like actual competition.
That's what I was about to say.
We're talking about competition. We're not talking about So, to me, I mean, I think he really stepped up. So I just hope he sustains that in the long run. I know it's going to be a long and hard conference schedule, so we'll see. But I thought it was a good game.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if he can keep that up, and it was like the first time it felt like in a bigger game he was actually going in, just manhandling the center. Because I mean, he's a brute. Like he's stocky, and he's muscular, and he can own it down low if he would just put his body into somebody and just go in. And it felt like he would just like kind of settle for those hook shots. And that game he wasn't. He was going to the rim and attacking.
Exactly.
And that's what we've needed. And he finally did it. So I think he's gonna get his swag. He's gonna be like, okay, I can go down low. I can dunk on these guys, like stuff like that. And we've needed that. And when you can poster or get a dunk down low on somebody, I mean, it just sets the tone.
True.
It just shows that you own somebody down low.
Yeah.
So,
I did get so aggravated during that game when number 9 for Florida was posting up there in the first half. I don't know if you remember that or not. And they were like battling each other underneath, and that dude was elbowing him, fouling Amari like crazy. Oh my gosh. I think that was probably the maddest I got that whole game was that call a foul on Amari, because I mean he's so big in stature and stuff. I mean it's hard for people to post up against him, and you could clearly see like, okay, this is an offensive foul. I guess I'm not the type of person that blames any win or loss on officials, but man, the foul calls in that game was just I'm sorry, that was just insane. Like I said, I'd never seen anything like that.
Well,
But
like there was one, the Florida shot a 3, and I think it was on Lamont where he was just putting his hand, and they reviewed it, and he never touched it. Never
like
touched
that
it.
he got his arm or something. Yeah, I remember that too. And
I thought they
don't
may have
know.
called on getting into his landing zone, but I don't even think he was even close to being in that area.
No, he wasn't. No, it was kind of crazy, but I'm glad we pulled the victory out in spite of that, you know.
Mhm.
So which really shows the tenacity of our team. The experience on close games like that really pays off. We're now 3-0 against top 10 teams this year. So and I think that'll grow more over time as we continue in SEC play. I know we're going to lose some games as well through the process, but I
Yep.
think that being Florida, that was just such a huge game. I think we're ranked 6th now, if I'm not mistaken, in the polls now. So and SEC's got 6 of the top 10 teams. Texas A&M, I think, moved into 10th. So,
Yeah.
So we got 6 teams in the top 10. You know what's really
nuts.
stinks too is that Duke's probably going to be the number 1 overall team when it's all said and done. But they're the only ACC team ranked in all of that conference. It's probably the worst they've ever been.
I don't know that Duke would get the number 1 overall. You can't count out Iowa State yet.
But I'm talking about the competition, the conference. They
Well,
don't have-
true.
Iowa.
North Carolina's garbage this year. You know, they don't have a post. They don't have size underneath. They're not going
True.
to keep up. Duke might lose at Clemson, but they just don't have the rest of the season. You know, from just looking at outside in, they don't really have a whole lot of competition. So,
True.
so that's the only thing that really stinks about that.
Yeah. And you got a point there, Justin. Now, thankfully, the selection committee puts into account strength of schedule. So I think that is going to actually go against Duke more. Like 10 years ago, Duke would be like the favorite for the number 1 overall seed because of what you said. But I think strength of schedule may prevent them from actually getting that, depending on how bad they beat.
The only reason I disagree with that is because you look at what the football college playoffs look like this year. That's why I disagree with that. I mean,
That's a good point.
because it's going to do the same with basketball. There's going to be teams that are going to be ranked higher than SEC teams this year because it's going to be hard to justify an SEC team being ranked higher with 10 losses than somebody else has played pretty much nobody but has won more games that are in power conferences. But, you know, going into conference play, I think SEC had won like 80% of its games. The whole SEC. I mean, that's how tough it is. And so, you know, so you've got to keep that perspective in mind.
Sure.
I mean, there should definitely be 2 SEC teams that are ranked number 1 in their bracket. Like, you know, whether it's Kentucky and Tennessee or Kentucky and Auburn or whatever, you know, 2 SEC teams should be a number 1 in a bracket this year. But whether that'll happen or not because they beat up on each other just like SEC did in football, who knows, you know. But
Sure. That's well said.
Just my opinion.
You just went into it. You got in your bag.
I love it. I love
hearing Justin.
But it's
go
true
all
though.
out.
He's
It is
not
true.
wrong.
It is.
Yeah, he's
It's
not
facts.
wrong.
It's true.
I mean, Justin's IQ in basketball is just insane, actually.
If
we
I
should
can
get
just
you a
learn
coaching
football
job.
like you, man. If I can just learn
I know
football like you
nothing.
guys.
But Justin, we're gonna get you a head coaching job somewhere,
Yes.
Nah, it's
and
all
then
good.
in 5 to 10 years, you're gonna take over for Pope.
5 to 10 years exactly.
And I want to be an assistant coach.
But if you say that, what we talked about yesterday, Justin would be the bad coach.
And then I would take over and I'd be the great coach.
There you
Hire within, baby. Develop here. No.
That's fun.
go. Develop
No,
within.
Have you heard that saying, Justin?
What's that?
It's like ever since Rupp, there's like a pattern of 3 with Kentucky coaches. It's good, or it's great, good, bad. It's Rupp was great, Joby Hall was good, and then Sutton was bad, and then
Gotcha.
Patino was great. Tubby was
Tubby.
good. Gillespie was
Gillespie.
bad. Cal was great. So Pope's supposed to be good, but the good coach is still.
That's
get a
going to
ring.
be flipped around before it's all said and done. Pope just broke that trend. 100%.
I mean, we
Pope-
still you got to have a ring.
Pope will be a better coach than Coach Cal.
Oh, I hope
in the
so.
long run. Oh, by a long shot. He already is. In my opinion, he's already a better coach, hands down. I don't even think it's a contest. I'm sorry. And that's not just being like bitter because Coach Cal
See,
left. It's obvious.
I'm an optimistic person, but the Browns this past year have just dampened my optimism. So I'm starting to become more of a realist, and I don't make predictions until I get my hope back, and that'll be in like 2 or 3 weeks when I start seeing draft stuff, and then I'll be like, okay, optimism is back. But I do agree. I think Pope will be the better coach. I'm just gonna leave it out there for a little bit before I make the actual statement on it, just because you never know. You don't know the future. Stuff can happen, and I've seen great coaches go down the drain pretty quick.
This ain't
But I
happening.
think that
I don't think it'll happen either.
I'm just
I know you.
don't
I know you have to be realist and have to like see both sides of the coin. But for real, we have somebody so bought into like Kentucky and what Kentucky's all about and the heritage that he has here with UK. It's just totally different. I mean, even
I
the
love it though.
the unified fan base is just
Mhm.
awesome. So too, and he's not going to have any problem recruiting going forward.
Yeah.
So
The only bad thing is if something does go south, the fan base divide will be bad. It'll be worse than the Stoops stuff.
I don't think Kentucky.
I'm not
fan
saying it
base let
will.
that happen. Like the only possibilities of anything like that would be something like illegal happening behind the scenes or something. As long as it ain't
Probation.
something like, I don't think that's going to happen with
Like
this
renting
with this
cars
group.
illegally from Cumberland Auto Rentals.
Something like that.
Like stealing a car from Cumberland Auto Rentals.
Exactly.
Cody?
So, but anyway, with Cal, it was about recruiting well. And then, you can see Coach Pope's, even just the offensive scheme and everything. He's just, it's just so different. So I definitely don't think that with the same schedule this year, if Coach Cal had this team this year, we don't beat Gonzaga, we don't beat Duke, and we wouldn't beat Florida yesterday. Saturday. So
Right.
that's just my opinion.
I mean, you see what happened in Knoxville Saturday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Basically
that
with
didn't-
Kentucky's team.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't. I didn't
Okay.
shock me none.
Okay, I know it's going to be I'm going to give a little segment in between us finishing recapping the Florida game and going to the game against Georgia on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So the people that listen on the radio, we've not got to watch it just yet. We're just going to give some predictions. When you hear it, you already know the score and stuff, and you can comment and see how accurate we are. But if you could add any player in the last 25 years since 2000 to add to this basketball team, who would you add?
I would add Reed.
Took my answer.
Oh, dang. Sorry, dude.
Read my
That's my
mind.
answer too. Read my mind.
I'd
Who'd
add
you take,
Boogie.
Christian?
Uh,
I was gonna take Davis.
Davis or
would be-
Boogie.
Davis would be awesome.
ooh.
Jamal Mashburn.
Yeah, put that one up.
Was he in the last 25 years?
Not sure, but I
think
like
he-
it.
pretty sure he was.
I thought he was in
the
92. Yeah, but still, I like it.
I like that
Can we
answer.
just bump it to 35 for the sake of
Well, if it's
conversation?
92, is that 35?
No, it's not.
93.
It fits the windows. What I'm saying.
Well, yeah, it would have been 90. 35 years ago, it would have been 90.
93. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Let's just count it. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
I
count
count
it.
it. I'd
I like
count
it.
count it. You know his son's playing for Temple right now?
Really?
Yes, his son is
I
currently
didn't
playing
know
for Temple.
that.
He
That's
played
good.
for he actually played for New Mexico for 3 years under Rick's son Richard Pitino and transferred to Temple. He's
Oh,
he's one of the not the top scorer in the nation, but he's up there on the list.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I say a lot of those guys.
Bam.
I
I
say
like
their
that.
sons are. What was his
What?
name? Double Zero played so well for us, and it was just in the tournament. I mean, he played. What's his name? God.
Win.
Like it's the 2014, 15.
Double
Uh,
zero?
Yeah,
Marcus
crap.
Lee?
Marcus Lee.
That's an interesting answer.
I don't know why I thought of that, but I just wanted to say his name.
Okay.
Oh, Justin, I found
What's
out
up?
a stat the other
Okay.
or Saturday. You two
Okay.
already know the answer because I said it.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
do you think holds the season career high in a season for field goal percentage at the University of Kentucky?
Oh gosh, I have no clue.
It's somebody you would not expect.
Wow.
I
It was
don't.
during the Cal era. I'll give you
Oh,
that.
was it
Mhm.
Are they ranked?
highest field goal percentage
Percentage?
or made
Percentage.
Oh, I remember us talking about this.
percentage?
Wow.
I would say it would have to be I would think it would be a center or power forward. I would have thought, just being underneath the basket. I'm
How?
really not sure.
He's a senior? Oh.
Nick Richards.
Oh yeah, that's right. And that's
all,
a
he did-
raw
all
percentage.
his points was layups and dunks. So,
I
No,
can't think
when
of
I
3
saw
point
that,
pro.
because we were talking about Kobe Bryant possibly breaking like a season high for like threes made in a season.
right.
But I think after that game he's at 45, and Jody Meeks has the record at 115.
Mm,
So
gotcha.
I don't.
I would have never guessed that. My mind went to like AD and stuff like that. So no, I wouldn't have got that right.
Yeah, it was it's crazy. But yeah,
I do have a hot take from the game
What's
the
that?
other night. I know you asked
Oh.
Jake, but I think, and this is just opinion, this could be a bias because of the area that we live, but I think that Trent Noah should be worked in the rotation over Ansley Almanor, if I say his name right. I think he should be in the rotation over him. Because I feel like he poses a better offensive threat. You know what? Noah's like 6'5", Almanor's like 6'7", I think. So I think it would be worth at least working that in and trying that out. And that's just my kind of similar to what Perry's doing for Butler. I know that the threes are really like strong position for Kentucky. There's a lot of people fulfilling that role, but I think that I would definitely work that and try that. That's just my opinion. So,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's completely out of the rotation. I'm definitely not saying that, but I think I would kind of tinker with that and try that out.
Are
a
you
little
saying
bit.
Ainsley Almanor's the worst basketball player you've ever seen?
No, I'm not. I absolutely am not. I have respect for the dude, but
Hey,
I'm
I
just
was-
saying. Okay. So,
I'm just messing.
So I'm looking right now at the last five games he's played. He had 0 points against Florida. He had 6 against Brown, which I wouldn't even like consider that really too much. He had 1 point against Ohio State, 0 against Louisville, and 2 against Colgate. I mean,
How many minutes is he averaging though?
Yeah.
he had 17 minutes against Brown, 12 against Florida, 6 against Ohio State, 8 against Louisville, 11 against Colgate.
What's his plus minus? That's the biggest question.
I do.
Very good question, actually.
I'm not. That's a good question. I've
Let me
not got
look
that
at
in
it.
front of me. I'll let you look that up.
I'll
I'm
look
just
that up.
I'm just saying that again. That's no diss on him at all whatsoever. I just know, Trent Noah is just such a lethal shooter. I think it'd be worth just filling him in and trying to kind of rotate him in the offense some more.
It makes you wonder if experience plays a role into reasoning for Pope's player selection, I guess, because people
sure.
forget that Ansley Almanor has tournament experience. He was
Yeah.
on the Fairleigh Dickinson team that beat Purdue a couple of years back. So I'd say that does play part of that role as to why Almanor gets more playing time. He is technically a senior, so that's the only thing I'm thinking of. But I mean, obviously, coming from my hometown, if Trent gets more playing time, I'm definitely not going to complain. So if anything, I like that hot take.
I think it would be worth trying. I mean, yeah, he averaged 16 last season, 13 the season prior to that. But, and most of the guys that are getting playing time are, fifth year seniors. So I get that. But I just, just my opinion, I think I would like to see that, but sure. I'm not the coach, so I don't get to make that decision. And I would respect whatever Coach Pope and them ever do or throw out there, because I know they're more knowledgeable of the game than me. But that would be my hot take that I would like to see work some going forward. I think against teams like at Georgia and teams like that, I think that would definitely be worth experimenting with, for sure. But I'm not saying that's going to be an easy win, because there's not going to really be any easy SEC wins this year that
agreed
at all.
Speaking of experience, this is going to be probably one of the biggest senior nights that Kentucky basketball has ever had. 7.
For real.
7.
Yeah.
They're going to have it on a separate day, probably. Like, it's going to be longer than the actual basketball game itself.
Well, usually the only senior nights we have are the people that sit the bench the entire year.
Mm-hmm.
They're there for 4 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
Gonna be an interesting one.
Did you find it, Christian?
Not yet.
Okay, dope.
Fun fact: Jamal Mashburn's son, Jamal Mashburn Jr., is averaging 20.4 points right now, which is 13th in the country. He is 40% from field goals. He is almost 50% from the 3-point line. Guy's balling.
What
at Temple?
What
Temple.
grade? What grade or year grade is he in?
Senior. He's a senior.
Yeah,
he'd be eligible.
He could have the 5th year. He started out.
If he has a 5th year, he needs to be in the transfer portal and come to UK to finish it out.
That'd be cool.
That's another hot take. Let's just do it.
That would be cool.
All he has to do is sue the NCAA, and he can get that eligibility.
That's true. That's all you have to do.
That's all you have to do nowadays.
They don't like to fight, so they just we'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Did you guys see where the Florida State players were like suing their former coach? Did you guys see that? For NIL
yeah, so far there's no proof of it. Like, no proof of anything wrong that happened.
That's crazy.
So it is crazy. Like, crazy that it would happen all of a sudden as well.
Wasn't it over like NIL money or something?
Yeah.
Promise.
And they weren't there.
Promised money and didn't get it.
They're trying to get Kerr another year. I don't know. You think can Kerr even come back?
Fun fact on Ansley Almanor.
Go ahead.
Hit the same amount of 3-pointers as he has 2-pointers.
Okay.
Reminds me of Bruce Bowen in the NBA years ago.
He shoots 73% inside and 31 from 3, but he's hit 11 of both.
Did he start when they beat Purdue? Was he a starter?
I think
or
so.
Was he like a
yes.
6th man?
I would say so.
But yeah, nobody. Yeah, I see where you got that from, Cody. About Kirk Chrisley getting that 5th year. That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
I don't know if that's possible, but
so what do you guys expect in the Georgia game?
Ooh,
domination.
That's what should happen.
Yes.
Walk in your trap, take over your trap. That's all they should be. I should see the TikToks and the Instagram posts after that game. They just walk in, take care of business, on to the next game.
What do you predict the final score to be?
What do I want it to be, or what do I think it'll be?
What do you think it'll be?
I think it'll be 92-82. I want it to be 95-73.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
I'm going to go 88-74 Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. Mine was similar to that, actually.
I should let you go first then. My bad.
No, but yours, I mean, mine's a little different. I was going to say 84-70 because I think we're still trying to work through that shooting on the road bug. Just when we play these big games on the road, we don't shoot as good as we should. But I think
Exactly.
tomorrow will kind of put us in the right direction. I don't think we're going to score like 100 or anything, but
That's
I
crazy.
could see 84, something like that, or even like Justin said, 88. I was thinking like 84-70, Kentucky.
Yeah, they've not even set the spread yet.
I'm gonna say 79-72.
Okay.
I think that Amari Williams goes in there late and says, "I'm the real dog. Y'all go back in the doghouse. I'm the
Starts
real dog."
barking at them.
Mm.
I'm gonna see what the spread is on this game.
I'm hoping
to-
Amari Williams woke up.
Same here.
It made me so happy. I'm going back to the report again. Made me so happy when he got the ball and it was a 1-on-1 that he actually was putting the guy down in the post and was bullying him, basically telling him, "I'm scoring on you. Doesn't matter. You're not going to do nothing about it."
So,
Instead of passing the ball out, but
as of right now, according to what I'm looking at right now, the spread is set at 3.5. Kentucky's minus 3.5. The over/under is set at 156.5.
Mm.
Interesting.
So they're predicting a closer game. Not
When you
like
play on the road, it's just it's so different. So I don't really blame them for that.
that's according to something.
Yeah.
Like I say,
Gotcha.
certain websites.
Which they've got
Or
5
apps.
guys averaging double digits. They've not really played too tough of a schedule, but they've played some decent little teams that you wouldn't think would be that great, but actually not too bad.
Well, they're 12-2 right now,
Mhm.
and they did beat St. John's when they were ranked earlier this year. So,
True.
I mean, it's definitely not going to be a pushover for sure.
Yeah. That's true. And they do have a player that I want to say Cal was originally looking at. And then when Cal went to Arkansas, this guy chose Georgia. He's the Nigerian, I think he is. Maybe. No, I must be thinking of someone else. Then my apologies.
I'm not shaking my head at you either. If it's what you think, I'm not. I'm
Somto,
watching.
is that his name? Somto?
Who?
Somto Cyril?
Oh, is he a recruit for this year's class?
No, he was. I want to say he was
Uh,
supposed to be on Kentucky's team this year, assuming we had Cal. But when Cal left, he decommitted and went somewhere else. But I may be thinking of someone else. I'm not sure.
I
I'm
don't
trying
think
to
he
think.
was
That
here when the
doesn't-
portal opened, did he?
No, like he was a freshman. He's a freshman now, and he would have been a freshman at Kentucky. He would have
Say
been
his name
basically a one.
Oh, so he was in the recruiting class.
Somto Cyril. I think it's Cyril. I mean, I'm maybe mispronouncing it.
Yeah, I think that does actually sound right.
Yeah. Georgia. Senator from Georgia.
Was he originally a Kentucky recruit, Cody? I'm pretty sure he was.
He was, yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
And he committed to Georgia. Now he's starting center at Georgia. Pretty sure. I think he is. Let me see. Oh. Got it.
And he's got to be at least 6'11", if not taller.
Well, that's like him. The one guy, the center that went to Arizona, one of the top centers in the country, went to Arizona State. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Who else was another guy? There's somebody I've not heard of. Was he played at Kansas State now? He was a center last year, number 33. What was his name? Yanenso. He plays at Kansas State, and I haven't heard nothing on him.
Which
ever
this
since.
this Georgia team does have a lot of scores, but they're young. This is a very young Georgia team, so I think this is where experience is finally going to work in our favor. So
Yeah.
they make a bad decision here and there, we can capitalize and make a big run, etc.
Which-
And that 95-73 that Christian wants could happen.
Yeah, which nobody said that he's 6'11", but only 220. So, I mean, Amari Williams should be able to go down there and bully him.
Should, yeah.
What do you guys think on this right here? Whatever the guy that was at Kentucky, he's the only center on the roster for Georgia. The only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta
Only
get those
center.
boards.
We should averaging 4.6 rebounds a game.
So
Yeah,
we should out
kill
rebound
the
them
boards.
easy, hopefully. Tomorrow's a good day to get started on that rebound. And
They
Well,
should have.
I'm sure
buffet.
that was incorporated in practice. I would imagine they'll be
I
ready
hope
for
so.
hit the glass for sure. I would think
yeah,
so. Yeah.
Okay, what margin do you want to see Kentucky win the boards tomorrow? What would you call a successful rebounding game?
Having double the boards they've got.
I mean, Florida only out rebounded us by 8, but that 8 was huge. I mean, you don't have to have that many more. You don't have to have that many more rebounds to make. I mean, you know, if you get say 8 more offensive rebounds, then, I mean, that's 16 points. So, you know, so for me, I think if you get at least 5 to 8, I mean, I think that's, you know, as long as we don't get out rebounded, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah. See, I want to see. I like it. He said 15 offensive rebounds for 31 points
wow.
off that game Saturday. So, if we could, I want to see us win the margin by 15, and I want to see us win the offensive boards by 7.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm telling you, I want to see domination. Like, I want to see a statement game. I know they're not ranked, but I want to see like a SECW with a statement win.
And it being on the road.
Yeah. I like it.
I do too.
So can I ask Justin the same question that we talked about on the live on Saturday with the 4 buys in the tournament?
Yeah.
So we talked about who is the favorite to win the regular season, Justin, for the SEC. Obviously, it's Auburn right now. Who do you think is going to be your 4 first-round buys in the SEC tournament this year?
It's going to be Kentucky, Alabama, Tennessee, and Auburn.
Okay. So you think Alabama will be that 4 hanging off?
Alabama to be number 4.
To be number 4?
I think Alabama will probably end up being higher.
Okay. Do you have a specific order, maybe?
Did you all do a specific order?
We kind of did. Not really, but kind of.
Oh, man. I think Auburn's going to be number 1. I'm going to probably put – I could be really off on this, of course, because you just really don't know how these games are going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put Kentucky. I'm going to put Kentucky 2, Bama 3, Tennessee 4.
Okay.
Now Tennessee's tough. I know they're number 1 overall right now, but again, they're kind of in the same situation as Florida. They've not really played anybody.
True.
They're tough. Lanier's one of the best shooting guards in the country. I'll tell you a matchup that's going to be awesome is when Ziegler goes against Butler.
True.
That point guard matchup is going to be one of the best matchups of the year. I'm telling you. That is going to be because they're both really defensive. Now Butler's a much better offensive player than what Ziegler is. But that's going to be a good game. Now those 4 could be really mixed up, but I don't really see that those top 4 being moved or shaken at this point. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
It's just going to be who's most consistent. If Kentucky plays like they did Saturday and beef up their rebounding, they're not losing many games. Even they'll lose a couple road games, but they're not losing many games. It's just a matter of if you can consistently keep that up. You're going to have off shooting nights though, and you're going to have to grind some games on the road. So it's going to be interesting.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I hate that both Kentucky Tennessee games are on Tuesdays, if I'm being honest.
Man, it's ridiculous. We talked about that the other day. I mean, that's just at least one of them should be on a Saturday, if not both.
But
But how does Tennessee basketball do every year? Oh, let's start hot. then we'll kind of go to mediocre once closer to NCAA tournament time.
It's like a
we
hot
can't
pocket.
handle the SEC apparently. Just like
Like the
we can't
Hot
handle
Pocket.
making a Final Four.
So,
But-
who's one team that you could see sneaking into one of them buys in the SEC?
Texas A&M.
That's what I was about to say. Texas A&M.
They're playing
But
good
you-
right now.
Or-
They
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. They're playing good basketball right now. They beat Texas by 20 Saturday night.
At
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, so it's untelling. They may shock some people as well. They've got some experience. They're loaded just as much as anybody else right now. So Texas A&M could squeeze in.
Yeah. So, is it too early to give a prediction on how far this team's going to go in the tournament after
Yeah,
one SEC game?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's
Okay,
too
let's
early.
get a way too early tournament prediction. How far do you think this team's going to go?
We're winning it this
As
year.
of right
Pope's
now.
first year, winning the whole
Oh
thing.
gosh, here we go.
There's only one thing left to do. Win the whole thing.
I think if we make it out of the first weekend, I think that's a success this year. But I think we'll go
Sure.
beyond that. So I will say that, like for Pope's first year, if we make it to Sweet 16, success. But you can't be satisfied
Floor and
with
ceiling.
that.
Give me a floor and ceiling, everybody. What's the floor and what's the ceiling?
Oh.
I mean, it's
I'm going to say floor first round,
Sure.
ceiling Elite Eight.
Depending on which bracket we get put in, I think
That's
ceiling
it.
could be Final Four, depending on where they put us. But you know how that usually goes. We always get put in the tough one. So that's hilarious. But Elite Eight sounds more realistic. We could possibly lose to a team here or there that's really experienced, that just has a really good night, and we have a really off night. So then, if you make it that far, that's nothing to be worried about.
Yeah. I think your ceiling's a national championship, and I think the floor is the Sweet 16.
with Cody.
Oh.
I'm
Do
exactly
you know what
with Cody on
do you
that.
know what the ceiling and floor means, Cody?
Flip flop it. Sorry.
I'm with him though. I'm with what he said though.
What?
Sweet 16.
I
don't know.
is like least expectations.
You're
can't
confusing me.
flip-flop
No.
You're confusing
the
me.
floor is the bottom, like where you think that the bottom of the
Is that not
barrel
what I
is.
said? I thought I said ceiling was national championship.
No,
I
no,
thought
no, that's what I'm saying. The ceiling, you're saying. So you're predicting like this team is national championship ready.
Yes.
I think they can
They
be.
can be.
They absolutely can be.
100%
They
can be.
100% can be. 100% because of the experience.
But experience
100
together. That's
they
the
look
big
like-
thing.
What's
They
UConn been
look
doing?
good. They
What's
look
UConn been
good.
doing? They lose everybody every year because
Not
they
everybody.
have it.
Not everybody.
They lose the
They
majority
keep
of
a
their
core.
team.
They keep a core together.
Yeah, but they lose the majority of their team every
I
single.
mean, what do you call what they did with Florida? I mean, they look like they've been
Exactly.
playing together for years.
What's up?
So, I mean, yeah, I
Um,
think they
I think your best teams in the tournament are the teams that got the most experience.
Overall,
Obviously, you see
yeah.
what Cal did. Cal couldn't put a bunch of freshmen past the first round.
And you're
So-
talking about players that return to the same team, not just seniors overall, Cody. You're talking
Yeah.
like players that stay with the same team.
I'm
for
talking
4
about
years.
seniors overall. UConn they didn't have many seniors that were on that team last year. That they had for a while. Most of them were transfers.
Okay.
And the year
okay.
before that.
if they don't win the championship, I'm not going to be extremely disappointed in the sense of oh my goodness, it should have been all or bust. But at the same time, they've got the pieces of what it takes to win a title. They 100% do. I don't have any doubt in my mind. But it also depends on your matchups. It depends on what you can do on a rough shooting night. Depends what bracket you're in. There's
Also true.
so much into play with that. Say if Kentucky doesn't finish, they lose a couple games towards the end, they end up getting a second seed, and their one seed's Duke, or their one seed is whoever, UConn
Sure.
or whatever. I mean, there's so many factors in that. So I do think they could win the whole thing. But if they make it I think as long as they make it to Sweet 16, I consider it a successful season.
That's fair.
I think I want to. This is what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to win national championship this year. I think the NCAA committee is going to make you go through Arkansas. They're going to make you go through St. John's. They're going to make you go through BYU. They're going to make you go through probably Kansas or UConn. Probably UConn. And I think you're just going to go through the national championship like you did in 2012.
I'll have what he's having.
Some good stuff over here.
That's the Kool-Aid. I like it.
Yeah.
I'll drink some more out of the Kool-Aid once we start beating SEC teams, I think.
Done
I
did
think
yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I mean like more. Like
How we finish,
We're never
Yeah.
gonna- we're
how we play
never
on the
lose.
road in the SEC is going to really determine a lot of things.
Very true.
I
Because
think
the way
after
we play in Rupp, the way we
I
play in
think,
Rupp versus like Tennessee on the road, or any of these other teams on the road, it's going to mean a lot. It's going to say a lot.
I think after this Mississippi State game on Saturday, I'll be able to. That's when I'll start drinking the Kool-Aid more.
And that's going to be a tough game. See
Yep.
that's going to be a tough
That'd be a
game.
good
Yeah,
one.
That's going to be a tough.
That
one.
one's at Mississippi State too, ain't it?
it
Yep.
is.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's gonna be a
Four
tough one.
4 out of our next 6 games are on the road.
That's crazy. And then we got a little home stretch, don't we?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
After that,
Our real tough SEC games don't come till later in the year.
Also true.
But
so do we play Tennessee at Tennessee first or at Rupp first?
At Tennessee first.
Tennessee first.
At Tennessee. Okay. So when's our
Which-
next? Oh, go ahead.
Nope, never mind. Go ahead.
You got it.
I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say.
You're going to
I can't say it, and I forgot it.
say it.
Wait, it's gone.
Nope. Grab it back.
Georgia's gonna. No, that's the wrong one. No, I don't. I really don't remember what I was gonna say. Go
We
ahead.
play Texas A&M at home next
That's
week after we
huge.
play Mississippi State.
That's
Mhm.
huge.
So I mean, yeah, and then Alabama after that. But both Alabama and Texas A&M's at home. So thankfully,
But you still
Okay.
got to go to Alabama and play in Fort.
Yeah.
For doubleheader.
As long as the SEC tournament's not in St. Louis, we're good.
To Nashville.
Remember
Oh,
that year?
oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
should we
gotcha.
take a trip to Nashville this year?
Well, we can't.
Nope.
My bad.
Can't go.
Oh goodness. Well,
Yeah, I'm going after it though.
Unless Christian wants to get married at Bridgestone.
I like it. I think
If
that'd be good.
Christian's at Bridgestone on that day, Christian's not getting married. Christian probably won't be breathing. If
The future
Christian's-
father-in-law would definitely approve.
Is that
of
the
this
same?
plan.
Is that the
That's
same
true.
week, or is that the first week of March Madness? I thought that was the first week of March
SEC
Madness.
tournament.
It's the semifinals of the SEC
Ah.
tournament.
Oh man.
I'm still mad.
I didn't pick the day. Don't be mad.
Not
at me.
mad at you.
Hey, absolutely not. It's all
Don't
good.
be mad at somebody else
We'll be
either,
there for
Cody.
you, Christian.
I'm mad at you.
We'll be there for you, Christian. Don't worry. We got
Yeah.
you.
Hey, we'll
Not
still be
mad
able
at
to watch it. We can do a cat's cut from it live from the reception or something.
Absolutely.
That would be
not.
cool.
What's wrong
No
with
joke.
you?
He's gonna be getting married, and you see all the groomsmen on their phones.
A projector,
Yeah.
a projector like on.
Hey, if Kentucky makes the SEC championship, we can still make it on Sunday.
That's what
That's
I'm
true.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm so tempted to go.
Well, I mean,
I'm
I
not
do have to
joking.
go to Florida, so I mean, I
Take a
could
Go
little,
to
take a
Nashville
little
for a
pit
day.
stop.
a little detour.
I'm
pit
so
stop.
tempted to do that. I really am. I've talked to Blake about that. I would do that.
It'd be funny.
So a little detour.
Go ahead.
So on Thursday and Friday, we have the college football
Ooh.
quarterfinals or the semifinals. I'm sorry. Notre Dame versus Penn State, Ohio State versus Texas. So who do you guys have winning those games?
Give me Ohio State and give me Notre Dame.
Okay.
Realistically, that's probably what's going to happen. I
Your
think
other
I think
option, Ohio State wins, Penn State gets them.
what I want to see and who I'll be rooting for is Texas and Penn State. That's who
not
I'm rooting for. That's probably not what's going to happen, but that's what I want to see.
Got a hot take for you guys. You guys ain't gonna like this. I've got Penn State winning the whole thing.
Sure.
I already know why you said that.
Because Drew Aller is going to go off these next 2 games, secure a national championship.
I'm
for
going to the
Penn-
Cleveland Browns.
How
I'm
about you
going.
shut up? Let me have my moment for crying out loud. No. I'm kidding. No, but he's going to get that big dub, and he's going to declare for the NFL draft, and his stock's going to be massive. And I'm just saying, he's been playing great ball in this tournament, and I think he's going to continue it, and he's going to make a statement game against Notre Dame. And I think that Texas-Ohio State game is going to be a little closer than people think. I'm still kind of iffy on it right now because I think you'll see a different Texas than you have the past few weeks because I think Quinn Ewers is going to have a little revenge on his mind in that game.
Sure.
Good.
So
Good. They are playing at home as well.
Basically.
It's good
Yeah.
yeah, where's it at?
It's in Dallas. Cottonville.
Dallas. Cotton.
Oh yeah, that's home field advantage,
hmm
Jerry
pretty
World.
much.
I would love to see Texas win the whole thing, but legitimately, I think it's going to be Ohio State and Notre Dame, and Ohio State's going to win it. So
I would like to see Notre Dame win the whole thing. I'm rooting for Notre Dame.
The thing I do not want to see a Penn State Ohio State national championship.
It's
Same.
very possible. Very possible.
I don't want to. I do not want to hear that. Like
Yep.
ACC is dead type stuff.
Yep.
I don't want to
Right
hear
there
that.
with you. Yeah.
So,
Because the SEC is going to have a bad year every now and again, and people are like taking it by the horns and like treating it as if the SEC is like done for. The same thing happened in 2014 when Ohio State won the first college football playoff, but then the SEC came in and won the majority of the last 11 championships.
So what you're saying is Kentucky has a shot at it.
100%.
I think they should be in it. I mean, I still don't know why they're not. But
Come on, Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant needs to be the new quarterback for Kentucky football after that big
I agree.
lob from east to west. In the
that's what I would
That's-
say.
that's
And Andrew
Jake's
Carr is
hot take.
tied in. Andrew Carr is tied in. How many? Did you see the way he high pointed the ball too? He went.
liked it.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we go into that last segment?
We have a last segment.
Yeah.
Bible verses.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
I'm looking.
Does Cody have any
I'm
takes on women's basketball? I know we missed
Hey.
the
Oh,
15.
yeah.
Yeah.
Georgia Amore's lighting it up.
Sure.
She's averaging 22 points a game the last 7 games. She's the number 1 scorer in the country, I'm pretty sure, unless Juju Watkins is a little bit higher than her. They've won 2 SEC games. I got to go to Florida Thursday. That'll be a good game. Florida's not as good in the women's side, I don't think. Then, which the women's they don't play nobody big until like the end of February almost,
Sure.
and that's LSU, or I think it's Texas at home. Would you all be for going to a women's game? They got to play a top 5 Texas team at home. I know Christian would be a little iffy, depending on what he's doing. But I would really like to go to another women's game. I thought it was a lot of fun to watch. That's up to you all, though. I'll go by myself, though. I mean, I'll be the odd person there by myself. Go Cats!
Justin, if you go, we'll go to Malone's and eat.
Ate there Saturday. It's quite delicious.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. No.
It was amazing. It's amazing. It
What,
was
you were up
amazing.
here Saturday and didn't say anything?
Buddy.
Wow.
Wow.
That would be.
Wow.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
How
Wow.
it be?
Hurt my feelings. You got
Please
barbecue
forgive
in
me.
there?
Please forgive
You
me.
got barbecue down there?
Didn't invite me.
Invite me. Hurt my
My
feelings.
feelings. All right.
Oh my
Time for
goodness,
the-
Jordan Carson. No,
Time for those Bible verses.
they don't know what I'm talking about.
Who wants to go first?
I'm looking.
I can go first because mine's short and sweet.
Oh.
One verse that I've had on my mind, Philippians 4:6. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God.
Like it. I like it. I like that verse. I'll go before Justin.
I will too.
Because Justin's like Mariana Rivera. He just closes it out. Legendary. So I got Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you a future and a hope.
I like that.
Mhm.
Cody,
What
going
is
next. I'm not sure what that was.
Do it again.
It's not me. I
Oh,
hear it.
But you were doing that.
Uh-uh.
Think about it. I don't know. Okay, my wrong thing. It's 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you.
Like it. Some scriptures on anxiety tonight. John 16:33. These things I've spoken to you so that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but take courage or be of good courage, for I have overcome the world. The most often repeated command in scripture is do not fear. So whatever you do, if you're taking risks, just be of good courage, be of good cheer, knowing that Jesus has overcome the world. So if you're on his side, you have the victory. So you don't fight for victory, you fight from a place of victory, knowing who you are in Christ and knowing the finished work of the cross.
That was great.
That was a great way to finish this episode.
You know what? I'm back. Cats are winning it all this year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bush, what'd you miss? Cody ate an entire watermelon.
I
went
did.
by,
You missed it. You missed it, dude. It's
and
crazy.
then Justin chugged an entire gallon of milk too.
And ate the
Oh.
watermelon whole. It was weird. It was interesting.
Yeah. All right. And as always, go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Jake, say it. Say it, Jake.
Go Cats.
Oh.